was just looking at some videos there of the 2008 and afterwards Obama was elected, and it's just surreal watching it now, seeing how people were in this sort of like messianic haze, convulsions actually, for this man who was elected president of the United States twice. Now I totally understand why they were, glad to see Bush go. I mean, Bush was horrible. I mean, you'd be hard pressed to find an American president worse than him. He was an absolute bastard. But people lose their minds when they're made promises by politicians, because they always believe this one is going to be the next one. This the one that will tell the truth. And the thing with Obama was there was no way that he could not deliver the things he said he would deliver in a very short time frame and not keep his credibility. Most of the things that he promised could have been, such as like the restoration of the Bill of Rights and the closing of Guantanamo and other things like that, could have been done very, very quickly. Most of them haven't been done at all. They haven't been done at all because he had no intention to do them. They play this thing, it's the Republicans and it's the Republican Congress, or this, and there's all this, the other side is stopping us. And none of that is true. That's not true at all. That's just to make you believe that they have two differences of opinions. They don't. Obama is just following a plan that the globalists have laid out for the world, and as the CEO of the world's main sort of like military corporation, his job is to just do what the shareholders of the corporation want. The shareholders of the corporation of the company of America are the corporations, the multinationals. He does what they want. The elections are just they're just a pantomime to make you believe you have a voice. Now, even with that, I was amazed at the mass hysteria surrounding Obama in 2008. Before he was elected, he went to Berlin and he gave a speech in Berlin in front of like 280,000 people. And this is before he was even president. And then he came to Ireland and all over America, and everywhere he went, the people were literally falling in convulsions at every word he said. You would have to go back to Adolf Hitler to see the same level of mass hysteria for a leader. Kennedy didn't even get that. The reason that Kennedy never even got anything close to that. Obama got what Hitler got. Absolute, unbiased mass hysteria. There was no difference in the people's reaction to Obama's speeches. I mean, I've seen the videos of people falling psychologically asunder, the mere mention of his name. And don't give me this thing, it's only a few. It's not. It was millions. It was millions. The vast majority of them are people who would consider themselves educated, and all that kind of thing would be below them. But they were the ones that were most hypnotized of all. Because they wanted a better world, not because they were stupid or anything like that. They wanted a better world. But this shows you the dangers of the political system, that how they will damage you with one government and then offer you the panacea with the next. And what you don't get is the panacea. What you get is the continuation of the previous policies. You show me one Western democracy in, say, since the 70s, late 70s, that has not continued the policies of the previous administration, even though they claim to be ideologically different and ideologically opposed to the previous administration. Especially since the start, it began with the sort of neoliberalist economics of Reagan and Thatcher. From that point on, it's been a continuum. So Tony Blair and New Labour continued the Thatcher policy. Gordon Brown continued the New Labour policy. Cameron and the Lib Dems are continuing the same policy. It just rolls on and on and on and on. And it's the same in every Western democracy, Canada, Ireland, Germany, you name it. Australia, they just roll the same policies on and on. That's why you can look at videos of YouTube of politicians making the same speeches in different countries, because it's literally handed to them by the same, the same globalists. So with this and with the the acceptance now that Obama was a complete and total fraud, he just uses his smoothness and his likability to woo people, and he does have tremendous charisma. But now you know that, and now you know that democracy is a complete fraud. This should now finally tell you that you cannot have any more faith in politicians. You just can't, okay? None of them. I'm not talking, now when I say you can't have faith in politicians, I'm not saying from the major parties. I'm even talking about the ones who may come up with this new system. In every country right now we have this kind of purple pill thing, and it's a new paradigm being offered forward. That's the same shit than from before. They've run out of options. People have figured out that basically we have a neoliberalist sort of like, it's kind of a globalist socialism for the banks system, okay? A rearmaments program for the banks, just like Hitler had a rearmaments program for Germany. They have a rearmaments program for the banks so they can unleash a blitzkrieg of credit upon us again. Now, bearing that in mind, don't assume that if someone comes up calling, the People's Party or the Citizens Alliance or that it's going to change, because they know that they've figured out their scam, that every a left-wing party or a conservative party and a right-wing party, one consecutive governments just followed the same policies. They figured that out about you, okay? That you figured that out. They know that. So the next thing is to create an illusion of some brand new political movement that's going to come up to replace the left-right conservative liberal Tweedledum Tweedledee circus that they've been giving us for about the last 30 odd years. Now, since about 78, 79. Now, it won't be a panacea either. It won't change anything. But I guarantee you that many of the people who are, in fact, all the people who are disgusted of being let down by Obama will run out and embrace this new thing. They've already kind of tested it with these kind of right-wing parties. In America, the Tea Party and Ron Paul, they've tested it with that, but they haven't really done it on the left yet. And you're seeing this, the celebrities being sent out to talk about we need a new party and so on. So they're going to try and do it with a kind of a left-wing spin next. It'll just be the same lie. And no matter how long they go in power, like the Greens, like we had the Green Party in government here in Ireland, now they're completely gone because people realised that they were just all bullshit. They were just talkers, and many of the people who are Green politicians in Ireland have actually gone back into the traditional parties, saying things like, "Well, I was, my family roots are in this party." It was always a scam. It was always a scam, and always will be a scam. So, I'm not telling you shouldn't vote or who you shouldn't. That's your own business. But who you should vote for. But these panaceas are never the way forward. There's never a solution given to you that's in your interest, because democracy is not for you. The governments are not for you. They're not for your interest. Now, in the past, people have fought for things that were in their interest. Like in America, the Bill of Rights, very good. The Constitution, not so much. The Bill of Rights was a very good thing. Now, people literally fought for that, okay? That's been watered down and was basically demolished by Bush and then continued even made worse by Obama. You cannot take political theater as solutions anymore. And people have to stop voting for celebrity politicians. And it's going, this is what the whole Russell Brand thing is about. This is what that's all about. He's getting the UK ready for a new kind of left-wing party. Their version of the Tea Party, but it'll be more leftist orientated. And it'll be whipped out with the same euphoria and the same sort of cult ideas that you had with like Tony Blair and Obama. But it'll just be another ruse. It'll just be another ruse. People will say to me, "You're being very negative." But, sorry, but that's the truth of it. We have no say in the running of this planet. We can only hope they don't kill us.